Hello, my friend. It is so good to have you here today. Welcome back. Find a comfortable place to sit. Have you ever been told that something was not for you? That you were too small, too quiet, too late to do the thing your heart wanted? Most of us hear a sentence like that, at least once in our lives. Tonight, we walk through the life of a boy who heard those words. He was 11 years old. The doctor said that the boy's body had stopped growing. Without treatment, he might never grow much taller. 1.4 meters, 4 feet 7 inches. For a child with a footballer's dream, a door had slammed shut. The family could not afford the medicine. The future suddenly seemed smaller than the dream. Yet later, that boy went on to score more than 900 goals. More than Pelé, more than Maradona. A story of needles and paper napkins, of a ball that sailed into a dark sky one quiet night. So come with me, my friend. Let us travel to a dusty street in Rosario. Let us follow a small boy, a boy the world would soon call Little Maradona. This is the story of Lionel Messi. Lionel Andrés Messi was born on the 24th of June, 1987. The place was Rosario, the third largest city in Argentina. His father, Jorge, was a man of long hours and strong hands. He worked in a steel factory. His mother, Celia, cleaned other people's houses to bring extra money home. They were not rich, but their house was full of warmth, full of children, and full of the sound of a ball bouncing against a wall. Lionel was the third of 4 children. From the moment he could walk, he chased a ball. His father said something beautiful about him once. He said the ball was tied to his son's feet by an invisible string. Wherever Lionel went, the ball followed. At 5, he joined a small club called Grandoli. His father was the coach. At 8, he moved to a bigger academy, Newell's Old Boys. He was the smallest boy on the field, always. The other boys gave him a name, La Pulga, the flea. But the flea had a secret. When the ball was at his feet, the game became simple. The bigger boys could not catch him. The faster boys could not stop him. Something inside this small boy already knew what it was going to do, even if no one else could see it yet. Newell's youth team won 100 matches in a row, with Lionel in the lineup. The coaches in Rosario called that group La Máquina del 87, the Machine of 87. It was a name that turned out to be a prophecy, because the boy at the heart of that machine, he was about to become one. But first, his body had to betray him. At 9 years old, Lionel stopped growing. At first, his family was not worried. Neither parent was tall. It could be in the blood. But by the age of around 11, the truth could no longer hide. He took the long bus ride to a clinic in Rosario. The doctor's name was Diego Schwarstein. The boy answered questions. He gave his blood. He waited. Then he heard the verdict. Growth hormone deficiency, a rare condition, treatable but expensive. $900 to $1,000 per month. Every night, Lionel would have to push a needle into his own thigh. Can you imagine? An 11-year-old boy, alone in his bedroom. He sits on the edge of the bed. He holds the needle. He looks at his own leg. And he pushes. Every night, for years. And perhaps that is where the machine truly began. Not on a football field, but in a quiet bedroom, with a small boy and a needle. Learning that the gift inside him would cost him something. every single night. Newell's Old Boys promised to help, then they disappeared. River Plate, the biggest club in Argentina, looked at the cost. They walked away. The first doors had started to close. For 2 long years, the boy injected himself in silence. His family tried everything. Then, in the year 2000, a phone call came from across the ocean. The call came from Spain. FC Barcelona wanted to see him. The trial in Barcelona lasted only a few minutes. The sporting director was a man named Carles Reixac. He watched the small boy move with the ball. He turned to his assistant. He said 2 words. "Sign him." But the Barcelona board hesitated. The boy was too small, too sick, too risky. Weeks passed. The Messi family waited in a hotel in Spain. Jorge threatened to take his son home. So, on the 14th of December 2000, something strange happened. Reixac met Jorge for lunch at a tennis club. There was no contract on the table, so Reixac turned to the waiter. He asked for whatever could be written on. The waiter came back with a paper napkin. Reixac took out a blue pen. He wrote a few short lines. He signed his name. The most important signing in football history was done on a paper napkin, the kind you use to wipe your mouth. Barcelona agreed to pay for the boy's treatment. The Messi family moved across the ocean. The boy with the closed-door verdict walked through an open door instead. The first goal arrived 5 years later. It was the 1st of May, 2005, at Camp Nou Stadium. Lionel was 17 years and 10 months old. He came on as a substitute. The opponent was a team called Albacete. Ronaldinho was the biggest star in world football at that moment. He lifted the 17-year-old onto his shoulders. He ran around the pitch with him. The crowd at Camp Nou stood up and roared. They did not yet know what they were cheering for. How could they? That was goal number 1. There would be hundreds more. In 2008, a great coach named Pep Guardiola took over. Guardiola built his entire philosophy around one player, around one foot, around one left foot, to be exact. The football they played was called tiki-taka. It was the most beautiful football the world had seen in 50 years, and it was built brick by brick around Lionel. Then came the year that should have been impossible. In 2009, Guardiola's first season, Barcelona did something no team had ever done. They won every trophy available to them. 6 trophies in a single year. 6 trophies in 12 months. By a club whose entire football was built around one small left foot. At the end of that year, Lionel won his first Ballon d'Or, the award for the best footballer in the world. In 2010, he won it again. In 2011, again. In 2012, again. 4 in a row. A record no player had ever held. But here is the strange part, my friend. Remember the boy from the clinic? The boy who might never grow tall enough to play professional football. He was now the best footballer in the world. 4 years in a row. The verdict from Rosario was being answered, 1 trophy at a time.